Everybody hear me? What's up, what's up, what's up? Broadcasting live from Tulsa, Oklahoma, in my trailer, from my trailer. If you don't know, my name is Lasso. Welcome to Lasso's Passions. I'm just chilling. It's Christmas Eve, everybody. Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? This whole year has gone by so quick. Not really. But here we are. We are here at Christmas Eve. It is about 8 something o'clock p.m. here in Tulsa, Central Standard Time. And we're moving on to Christmas. Now, I did do a little bit of a Christmas exchange today with some family. I got a nice candle, Christmassy scented candle, which is nice because it covers up some of the pee and poop smells from my dog. Even though everything's cleaned up very nicely, sometimes the smell lingers. So it's nice to have a candle, a new candle with the spirit of Christmas to cover up all the feces smells from my little adorable puppy. You may know her. Her name is Lolita. I've made a few shorts with her starring in it. She has her own playlist, and she's probably garnered over the years, I want to say close to something like 30,000 views, just her alone. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Lolita is famous now. Not really, but it is fun. She's been viewed quite a lot. A lot of people commented on my little pup. She's one of the cutest puppies around, for sure. Something interesting happening today is the last regular deadline date to submit at the Stay Gold Film Festival, which can be found on Film Freeway, is today. Today is the deadline for the regular deadline, so you're welcome to submit. Something else that's interesting is I finished last night. I did the review and plot outline of the movie Wake Up Dead Man, which is a very hard movie to do a review on. It's not that it's difficult; it's just that it has so much going on, so many characters. The ensemble is amazing. The actors are amazing. The way it's structured is amazing. The reveals, the secrets, the lies, the violence, the setups, the twists, the original sins that come into play. It's pretty intense. Pretty intense. Pretty intense for sure. But I noticed the viewership is low. Viewership is very low today. I'm sure it's because it's Christmas Eve and people are doing things or out with family and doing things. I am trying to at least minimum get one more 100 views for tonight if it's possible. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm definitely going to try it because I want to break my record for the month. I'm trying to get about 14,000 views in 1 week, which isn't too bad of a goal, but getting there. Also, I got this book that I wrote this year. It's called Dialogues, Oklahoma Independent Cinema. I'm planning on writing another book next year. It's going to be called, I don't have the official title, but it's going to be called something like Downside, Upside, something like that. Alondra Cantina says, keep going. I liked and subscribe. If you keep going, you can make it in life and you can be successful. All I'm saying is just believing in yourself. She says, hi. I say hi back to you. Wow. Some powerful, positive messaging right there. Really appreciate the subscription and the like. Is it okay if I subscribe back to you? Is that okay? I like to return the favor. If that's kind of your thing, if you're trying to build up subscribers and whatnot, I'll happily return it. Just say the word. Okay, I'll do it. Let me write down your name here. Alone, because sometimes I notice some people subscribe and their name doesn't pop up when I look at the people that subscribe to me. So I'm gonna write it down just in case. Quintana dash K4H. Got it. So thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been working very hard this year. Thanks for noticing. I got to my goal, 1,000 subscribers. It's the watch time hours. It's difficult. It's the watch time hours. Getting those 4,000 hours of watch time hours by viewers is very difficult. I need to make a series that is worthwhile, something interesting, something people can really invest their time in, not just waste their time. I do like entertaining people. I have these nice little commentaries back and forth with people. Some people find it entertaining. Some people don't. Some people don't like these random live chats. They just go, "What are you doing? Like, do something. You're still talking. Do a trick." All right, I'll do a trick. This is my pen flip trick. I just flipped a pen. No, but I'm excited for next year. I am very much excited for next year. My goal for next year is to reach 1 million views. 1 million views, which is a big substantial number. It's not out of any reason of like, oh, getting a lot of views, getting a lot of views. It's just like a goal that's right around the corner. I've got right now. I'm at 740,000 views. So I figure, why not push for that 1 million? Why not? Why not? But the real goal is to obviously get monetized, and getting a million views isn't necessarily a stepping stone to getting monetized, but it is a cool little goal to have. Kind of bragging rights. Oh, I hit a million views. It's kind of interesting, right? But yeah, if I'm serious about getting monetized, I have to be serious about creating content that is going to be a series of some sort. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I need to brainstorm on what I could do. I do plan on doing courses, basing it off these books I have on drawing. I'm an artist, and I'm going through these books on drawing, and so I'm going to do these courses based off these two books I have. It's going to be beginners, intermediate, and expert classes on drawing. So I'm excited about that. It'll be free, so anybody on YouTube can check it out and go along with it. So that's my plan for next year, as well as painting, my doing my huge doing my huge of painting people and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for that, Alondra. Thanks for the super awesome positive message you gave me. I really appreciate it, and for subscribing. It's awesome. Thank you. But yeah, Christmas Eve, everybody. Is everyone excited for Christmas? Everybody excited? Anyone doing fun family stuff? Huh? Or are we all acting like Grinches this year? It's okay. I'm not judging. Like I said, I had a bit of a family thing. It was fun. We went to Village Inn, which is Wednesday today. And if you don't know about Wednesdays at Village Inn, it's free pie day. Free pie day at Wednesdays at Village Inn. So I got myself a triple berry pie. It was very delicious. Very delicious, very gooey, sugary. I don't do a lot of pastries and stuff like that. So it's like, why not treat myself? It's Christmas Eve. I drank some of that apple cider stuff that comes in the champagne bottle, along with the triple berry pie slice of pie. So delicious. Can't go wrong there. Maybe an aching stomach later this evening. But honestly, as far as tasting it, having fun, experiencing the taste buds of fabulous sensations in my mouth, it was great. I had a great time with my family. Got some presents that I got to open today, and tomorrow I get to open up some more presents. So I hope you do too. I hope you get to spend time with your family wherever you are in the world, and I hope you get to open presents. So I'm excited. I don't know what I got this year. I don't know. I mean, I obviously today I know what I got, but before that, I mean, after that, I mean, tomorrow, I don't know what I got. I don't know what I got. I'm going to be going to church tomorrow at 10 a.m. Haven't done that in a while. So, Christmas church, Christmas mass, the whole Catholic thing. I don't really attend church that much. I really don't. I do sometimes watch some Bible scholars on YouTube discussing. Oh, I got a phone call. I got a phone call. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to pause this somehow. I don't know how. Let me pause this. Everybody, had to take a phone call. It's a friend from California. I wanted to wish her a happy Christmas, and she didn't know she was interrupting a live stream, so I probably lost everybody. But that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta roll the dice on these things. You gotta roll the dice and go with it. I didn't want to just flat out ignore her phone call. So Raiden, Raiden E Square Zona. I can't even say that. Raiden. Wait, she says, or is it he? He says it's me. Hi. I think I remember you. Um, man, I'm getting tired. I'm tired though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired. I'm tired. I watched the Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. Oh my god, fun movies. Totally kids movies. And there's like singing in it. Santa Claus is singing in it. It's kind of strange, but you're like, oh, okay, this is a really out there movie, Christmas movies. With Kurt, what's his name? Kurt Russell, is that his name? Kurt Douglas, Kurt Russell, something like that. He stars as Santa Claus. Anyways, those movies were a lot of fun to watch, really entertaining. Um, what is it? The Christmas Chronicles Part 1 and 2. I guess those are Netflix movies. It's like the perfect. These are the perfect movies to watch for Christmas Eve, if not for Christmas on Netflix. Really enjoyed them. Really fun. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. Just hanging out. Whoever wants to talk, I'm here. Maybe wants to chill, do a little talking, do a little hanging out. I'm just hanging out. Do you see my eyeball? There we go. A big glare. But yeah, not much to report other than I wish everybody a happy, jolly Christmas. Hope you get all your presents, everything you wish for this year. If not, then maybe next year. But I never I know I don't ask for presents. Did you guys still ask for presents? I never ask for presents. I just receive them. You know, I allow people to give me presents. I buy presents for people. They don't know what they're gonna get, and they don't. My parents don't tell me what they want for Christmas. That's not true. My mom's like, I need pairs of socks, so I bought her some socks. Things like that. I bought my brother a T-shirt. It's got a picture of Will Ferrell on it, and it says something like, I don't know what it says. It's something from that movie, Talladega Nights. Something about winners win, losers lose. I don't know, something like that. Something like that. Really funny movie. Will Ferrell, funny guy. Funny guy. Funny like how? You mean I'm a clown? You think I'm a clown? Joe Pesci. He's a funny guy. He's old. Joe Pesci is old. Wow, he's really old now these days. So is Robert De Niro. He's very old these days. Surprisingly, he's still making movies, and some of them are like hits. Some of them are misses. Mostly misses, if you ask me. But he's got a few hits lately, even though he's up there in age. He's still killing it as an actor. Surprisingly, he's done it his whole life. It's insane. He's done it his whole life. His career is insane. Starting with what's that movie? Once Upon a Time in America, right? That was like one of the first movies he was in, and then he was in maybe some other movies, but the ones that stand out, he was in The Godfathers, I think two and three, or two, just two, I don't know. Um, lots of mafia movies. But it's crazy. Life is so short when you think about it. We're already here in 2025. It's going to be 26. Uh, I blinked and I'm close to turning 40. I remember when I was a kid. I remember when I was just 7 years old, and now I blinked and I'm almost 40 years old. Time is insane. It just keeps moving forward. There's nothing you can do about it. I was looking at pictures of my grandpa. My grandpa turned 100 this year, or he's turning 100 like next year. um, which is like, man, we're all heading that direction. We're all just getting older, you know, and there's nothing we can do about it. All you can do is just live life to the fullest, right? Don't hide. Don't be in fear. Live to the fullest. You know, live your fullest life, you know. Find your happiness, find your peace, you know, find what makes you tick. For some people it's money. For some people it's monetary success. For some people it's love, it's success and love. For some people it's the arts. For some people it's sports, you know. But truly, you get one life, make the best out of it, you know, or else it'll pass you by and you blink and you look back and you go, what on earth did I do? You know, how could I just waste all that time, that precious time that I don't have anymore to use? So, my gift to you is to realize that time is short and you should really spend it wisely. Spend it with the people you love, you know. If you're fighting somebody, if you're fighting a brother, fighting a sister, make amends, make peace with it because life is short and it moves quickly. And you know, and what we do in life kind of matters. It kind of matters in the sense that it affects the people around us. Not everybody is going to have these grandiose lives that's going to affect millions of people, and that's okay. You know, for us down here, we're just going to affect the people that are closest to us. You know, we have that opportunity to help our closest friends, the people we love who are close to us, our family. You know, we have that opportunity. We have the opportunity to learn things while we're still alive and still healthy, you know, for the most part. So why not make the best of it? I'm thinking about those things. I think about those things all the time. I think about, you know, I'm getting close to 40 and there's things that not necessarily regret, but there's things that didn't work out in my favor. You know, there's things like, you know, I didn't get married. I didn't, not that I didn't want to, I really wanted to, it just didn't work out in my favor. You know, I didn't get the really fancy job. Yo, Krishna! He says, Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Merry Christmas to you, my brother in India. Hopefully, I'm not bringing people down. I'm not trying to, but maybe just a little sense of reality, you know, that time is short. You got to make the best of it every day because it matters. It builds on everything you do every day. It builds upon itself. You know, you don't want to spend it depressed because then you're spending what precious life that you have, you're spending it depressed and negativity. You know, that's spent. That's time spent. You're not going to get back ever. So really think about that. Be logical. Be like, well, if I'm going to spend my time on earth while I'm alive, choose with purpose and live it with positivity about yourself, about others around you. Choose forgiveness, choose love, because it's just way stronger than hate. You know, like I said, it's so short. It happened so quick. I blinked and I'm 40. Krishna says, I'm busy cleaning my PC setup. I bought a new graphics card. Ooh, exciting. Exciting, my friend. I remember those days when I was building up my computer and got a new graphics card that can change everything for your computer. Card yesterday. Don't worry, I'm watching your live. Continues. Yeah. Live. Live. Thanks, my friend. I'm spending my life on earth connecting with Krishna, my brother in India, which is pretty insane, right? But makes you think, you know, makes you think how we how we choose to live our lives, the actions we choose, you know, it makes you really think. Not so much when you're younger. When you're younger, you feel like everything is like fresh, brand new. Everything feels like an adventure. Everything feels like you're not going to die, like you're going to live forever. But that's a facade. That's fake. That's fake news. You know, you are going to die. We're all going to die. It's something that people don't like talking about it. We don't like to face that reality. But I think the moment that you truly face that reality that we're going to die one day, it changes your attitude of I'm not going to waste my time. I'm really going to think about how I'm going to do things, what I want to put out in the earth, what is my legacy that I'm going to leave behind. You know, once I'm gone, what am I going to leave behind? How did I affect people? You know, how did I affect people? Did I affect people in the positive and the negative? Krishna says, I don't have any friends de- delib- deliberate, too deliberate or something. Well, you know, Some of us, I don't have a lot of friends either. I don't. I have, my family, and then I have Rudy. He's a good friend of mine. We connected over screenwriting. I got my friend Jake. We went to school together at TU, and I'm still friends today. So, I wouldn't say I'm Mr. Popular. I got my two closest friends. I have a special friend out in California, my friend Crystal, who was an alcoholic, and she has spent already, what is it, 60 days? Is it 60 days without a drop? She got her chip for 60 days or something. Um, yeah, of course. Of course. Sometimes I go live expecting you'll be there and you don't show up, and it makes me sad. It makes me very sad because I go live just to see you, Krishna, and it doesn't happen, and I'm like, ah, snaps. I didn't get to see Krishna today. But that's why I go. That's why I do these random lives, because I'm like, I wonder if I'll catch Krishna. I wonder, just at a randomly, I wonder sometimes. Um, but you know how it is. But I don't know. I'm hoping my friend Crystal out in California, that once things get better for her in her life and me in my life, that maybe we can connect and take it up a notch. Build a relationship and whatnot. I'm thinking about it. I think about it a lot. With her specifically, she's a really good person. Obviously, she cares about me. I care about her. We've connected on a deeper level. I've always been friends with her. I never wanted anything from her. It just kind of happened, and there's no real selfish motive there. I truly care about her, and so I'm not going to push for it, but I think something could happen there, which would be pretty cool. Krishna says, "Sorry for hurting your feelings, bro. I didn't mean to do that." Oh, oh yeah, right, Krishna. You ignore me on purpose. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around with you. You didn't hurt my feelings. But it's true though. I do these lives, these random lives sometimes just to see if I can connect with you. And sometimes when I announce, like I'll tell you, hey, I'm gonna go live in an hour or something, like, and then you don't show up. I'm like, dang, dang, dang. So that's why I like to do the random ones, because I feel like when I do the random ones, you're just randomly on. So it like works better. Um, but anyways, yeah, man, it's good. It's good to hear from you, Krishna. I hope you're having a good Christmas. You guys celebrate Christmas out in India? You guys do that? Is that something you guys do? I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to other countries. Uh, I mean, I'm sure it's celebrated all around the world, but I just don't know. I really don't. So if you can correct me on that, boss. Um, but yeah, yeah. I'm actually getting pretty tired here, so um, I may wrap it up in a little bit, maybe like in 30 minutes or so. But before I do, I have a really special message I created for you, for everyone, on watching and everybody who stops in. I created a short. It's a simple short. I used AI to create the images, but my message is me talking, and it's my 5 top blessings for you. These are my 5 top blessings for you. So I hope you get to watch it. It's a short that I did, little YouTube short. You find it in the shorts section. Uh, put a lot of thought behind it. I put a lot of thought behind it, and there's a lot of thought and a lot of authenticity. Yeah, that's right. You did watch it, Krishna. Yeah, that's right. You commented on it, and you made the saddest comment in the world. It depressed me a little bit because I don't like hearing that, like, those kinds of things. But it's true, right? It's true. When you're alone and there's nobody there, you don't have a significant other. You start to get a little bit. You feel you're in that world of thought, which is, there's nobody here that loves me. But that's not true, though, not necessarily. It just means you didn't meet the person yet. It just means you're not at the right place at the right time for it to happen. And sometimes for some people it happens very quickly, and for others it happens much slower. For me, it happened much slower, but a lot of it had to do because of me. I when I was younger, I was super shy. I was super shy. I was so shy, and I was afraid of girls. I didn't know how to talk to them. My comfortability was in hanging out with my guys. With my friends. I would hang out with the dudes. But when it came to like having courage to talk to women and girls, I did not have the courage. Well, yeah, I hope so. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that's how it should be. Your mom, you're always going to be her baby, of course. So I'm glad to hear that because sometimes I'm a little concerned about if your parents do love you. But I'm glad to hear that, Krishna. Yeah, your mom should be the one in the whole world that will always love you because you're her son, you're her baby. And she's always going to see you as her baby, the way my mom sees me as her baby. But nowadays I have more courage, and it's not that I don't fall into depression. I don't get depressed. I don't get lonely. I don't have the need to be like, oh, I need a woman around me 24/7. Some guys are just some guys are actually don't know how to be alone. That's why they have a woman around them all the time. Or if they break up with somebody, they immediately jump in with somebody else because they don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to handle their depressions. They don't know how to handle their emotions being alone. And that's the truth. There are men out there who don't know how to be alone. They would much rather jump into another relationship immediately as soon as one is done for whatever reason because they're too they're not confident enough to be single. Okay, some people are single not out of choice because they lack somewhere, but some people can't be single because they're afraid of being single. They're so afraid of it that they'll jump into any relationship so they don't spend their life alone. Because it's true about what I was saying. Our life is so short and it matters how we spend our time. And some people view being single as a waste of time. Like here I am living my life, I'm dying, I'm aging, and I'm alone. I don't have that significant other. So some people in their minds, they would much rather be with the wrong person, any person, than be alone, which in its own self is very toxic because they're not facing the reality of that what feels to them as like certain doom, which is singlehood, which is not. It's not true. Singlehood is not doomsday. It's not the end of your life. It's actually the beginning of your life because you're not having to depend on somebody else and there's somebody there that it's like that's fine and dandy, but in most cases if you're with the wrong person it's going to be very toxic, very very toxic, and it's not going to help your life. It's going to make your life worse. And millions of people in America live that way. They're with the wrong person because they much rather be with the wrong person than be single and work on themselves to be a better human being, to get better skills, this and that. And some people are with the wrong person because they had a child with that person early on in life. They didn't have, they made it outside of marriage. They had a kid and then they had another kid and then it was like, well, we might as well do this. But it's like it was an accident. Having that kid was an accident, and then having the first kid, it was like, well, let's go ahead and have another one. But it's like, did you choose your mate thoughtfully, or was the desire to sleep with somebody is what made your choice, and it didn't matter who it was, and you didn't vet the person, you didn't see if they aligned with your beliefs, you didn't see if you didn't spend time like dating that person and to see if eventually it makes sense to marry this person and have kids with this person. No, people just jump in, have kids on accident, and the next thing you know, the guy has to like get a crummy job because he doesn't have enough time to get skills to get a good job. So he's getting a crummy job. He hates his life. He hates the person he's with. He hates the living situation. They can barely afford it, and they're always stressed, filled with anxiety. It's hard. I see it all the time here in the States. I've seen it. I'm not that I see it now, but when I was younger and in a band and this and that, I was popular. I'd hung out with a lot of people. invite me to their houses, and I got to see their lives. And it wasn't anything that I was like, oh yeah, this is great. No, it was the opposite. It was like, oh my God, you all have so many problems. You all hate each other. You're at each other's throats, and it's like you have this impossible life, and you did it because of the mistakes you made. And now you have to live those mistakes. And that's a horrible place to be. I would much rather be single than live the mistakes that that I've that I make. Obviously we all make mistakes and we all have to live with them. But I would much rather, like I said, be single than with the wrong person. And wait for the right person. You know, but it's a task. It's hard because time continues, time moves on, right? And we talked about this a little bit, Krishna. How like I'm single, I'm not married, and I'm close to 40, and a lot of you guys are like, "Oh man, like that's horrible. Like we feel bad for you," but not really. Not really. I don't feel bad. I don't. It's just part of my journey. It's how it worked out for me, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Like in a lot of ways, I'm much freer than a lot of men who are married and tied down to a job that they have to do, and it terrifies them of losing it because it can pretty much derail the life they have, and it's going to cause problems, and who knows, they can't afford this and that for their kids, and it can change everything. It's a lot of stress in a way if you allow it to be. But I don't have those stresses. I don't have the stress of, oh, I need to do this or my kids are not going to eat. I don't have kids. I need to do this or my wife's going to be unhappy. Oh, I don't have a wife. There's nothing. I'm a lot freer in a lot of ways, but I don't have these privileges of having kids and a wife and that and all that. I don't have it, but I have instead more freedom. And so I really think about how to use my time year to year to year. I make goals. I work really hard towards those goals because those goals are tied to the legacy I want to leave behind. I think about how to use my time wisely before I die. I think about that a lot actually. It puts me in this in this zone of thinking that I shouldn't be wasting my time. I don't want to waste my time. And so though I do have downtime, I'm sometimes lazy. My body isn't a machine where it's like go, 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 go all the time. But I do want to accomplish things. I'm not going to waste my year. I'm not going to waste my month. I'm not going to waste my week. I'm going to be focused at I got my small goals and my big goals. And so I'm constantly thinking about those and constantly thinking about how I'm going to achieve my small goals. And those small goals are basically the stepping stones to the bigger goals, right? And those bigger goals take more time, way more effort. I mean, writing this book this year was a major goal, and I did it. Really proud of myself. I wrote a book. How many people can say that? A lot of people can say that, but there's still a lot of people that can't. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of focus, it takes a lot of editing, it takes a lot of getting things right, copyright, getting the barcode and this stuff and the VP number, the ISBN number, whatever you want to call it. So I self-published. I'd like to find a publisher. That could be a bigger goal. Once I write my second book, my third book, I can be like, I'm looking for a publisher to actually represent me as an author, which would be huge. If I actually become a published author under a real publisher, like a major publisher that helps me push my book out there and my books, that would be amazing. That wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do in life, but still the same. Like I said, I think about my life, what it means, and once I'm dead, what do I leave behind? I want to leave behind some truths, some of the things I experienced. I want to leave behind stuff that makes people think. I want to leave behind stuff that makes people go, "Oh, that's amazing." So that's what I'm constantly thinking about. I've been handed some cards in life. These are the cards I've been handed, and so I'm playing them the best I can. You know, and everybody's smart in their own way. I'm sure a different person with the same cards that I was given would do something completely different. And maybe more amazing or less amazing. I don't know. But that's what's unique about each one of us is unique, right? We all make decisions based on our own understanding of life, where we want to go, what motivates us, what hurt us, in life, what made us in life, the things we had to overcome has in life has a lot to do with who we are today. The things that happened to us when we were young, the things we experienced when we were young has will have a huge effect on you as an adult, you know? And so this is my life path, and I humbly accept it, and I accept it with full grace, with the understanding that this life itself is a gift. The present is the real gift. Right now, what's happening right now in the world, you're living it this moment, right? The present, which is another way of saying gift, right? That's why I like to say the present time is the real gift that God gives us. What do we do with that present? Well, right now I'm on my YouTube channel, right? I'm building up my channel. There's an opportunity with YouTube as a creator to do something, right? To connect with people, to affect an audience, to maybe bring something new to them that they didn't really think about before. There's a chance to put myself out there in a very fearless way. I'm putting my authentic self. I'm not hiding behind some fakery. This is me. This is what you get. I don't have a producer in my ear telling me what to say and what to think. This is me. This is what you get. Purely my thoughts. And I'm not here to point fingers at anybody. I'm not here to be controversial. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just more or less on a journey. I've been on the self uh sustaining self, like a self journey of trying to get to these epiphanies about life and what I should do and what direction I should go. I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking about what's the next step for me, because I don't have a long, like, term life goal where I'm going to do this for the next 50 years until I achieve it. I don't really have that. What I have is, well, next year, this is what I plan to do. Okay, then that's my goal. My goals are as short as I don't really think I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't have a 10-year plan. Maybe I should. Maybe these are things that I should do. But what I do know is there's things I need to change in my life. I've taken hard looks in myself in the mirror, which is not an easy thing to do, but definitely something that needs to be done in order to grow up, to become an adult, to make yourself better, to even heal yourself. You have to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, these are my weaknesses. What am I going to do about it? Am I going to take some time to actually work on myself, or am I going to dismiss it, act like a child and just not even come to terms with the truths that are facing me right there in front of me? I think truth is a bitter herb to swallow for sure. A very bitter herb. It's not something that comes wrapped in sugar and sweet and it goes down easy. No, it's the opposite. It's the thorny rose that's going to scratch down and make your throat bleed, because it's that intense. And sometimes we don't want to look at the truth. We don't, because it hurts. It's supposed to hurt, though. It's supposed to hurt because that's how it works. We live in these delusions and these fantasies, and they makes us feel safe. It makes us, when we're so sure about the world, the next thing you know, that's not how it is. But having some kind of certainty makes us feel like we're stepping on real solid ground, when in reality we don't know where we are. We don't know what delusions we're living in until we actually face them on head on. It's just the a fake safety net that we build for ourselves so we don't feel lost and we don't get to a place where we're super depressed. Having the confidence and the delusions that we want to have gives us the energy to get up every morning and do what we need to do. But in some instances, when you're not deluded, it will have the same effect, and even in a more clear sense, right? The biggest illusion is we're not going to die, but we are going to die someday. We're going to die, and some people don't want to look at that reality. Some people don't want to look at the fact that we're human, we're mortal, and there's a potential that we're going to spend eternity as a soul somewhere else. Now we're diving into something way deeper, a spiritual realm that a lot of people don't even want to face, because it's dangerous to face spirituality. We much rather live in the material world, which we feel safe. Again, is the material world a delusion that we allow ourselves to live in because it feels safe? But in fact, it's a fake safety net. It's that material world is going to come to an end one day. And we have to ask ourselves these serious questions. Is there an afterlife? Do you want to spend where do you want to spend eternity? And does the thought and decision, the conscious awareness that there is an eternity after this materialistic dimension, does that wake you up to the fact that you may need to change your behaviors? Because if you don't change the way you behave in this materialistic dimension, what does that mean about your afterlife that you will spend eternity in? It says a lot. It says a lot, but we don't want to face those. We want to stay in our delusions. We want to stay in our materialistic dimension and stay focused there because it's safe. It's safe for now. It feels safe. It feels real to us. The present is the gift, is the gift of being alive. Having the consciousness, the free will to make choices, that is the gift that we have at the present. The past is gone. It's no longer with us. It was here just a moment ago and now it's gone, right? And the future isn't necessarily real, but it's coming. You know it's coming, but it's still not a real thing, right? The only real thing is what is known as the present, the gift. What are you going to do with that gift? The best gift of them all, the best gift you will receive, give yourself for Christmas is realizing that the moment you live right now is the real gift. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to waste it? Or are you going to do something with it so that you give your life meaning, that you leave a legacy behind, that you affect other people in a positive way instead of a negative way, or build yourself up in a very unique way, different from everyone else? You have those opportunities right now. You can do anything. Your choices are free to you. You can choose your path. You can choose what door you want to go through. You can choose what window you want to go through. You can read whatever book you want to read. You can teach yourself whatever skill you want to teach yourself, whatever skill to get somewhere in life. You can do those things. You can. So the big question is, where do you want to go in life? Where do you seriously want to be? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be known as? What do you want to be known as? And then ask an even deeper question. Ask yourself why. Why do you want to be known as this? Why do you want to leave this kind of legacy behind? Why do you want to live this certain life versus another kind of life? Why do you choose fear over being courageous and doing something extraordinary with your life? You get one. You get one life. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Pretty serious stuff. Pretty serious stuff. Didn't have to be, though. You can have a whole lighthearted approach to life, just like Charlie Chaplin had. He was serious about stuff. He was serious about his craft, about directing and writing and his comedy. But his whole thing was to have a light heart, was to make other people laugh. But he wanted a lot out of life. He wanted so much out of life. He wanted the luxuries because he grew up poor. He was a poor child. He was an orphan, and he wanted so much out of life. He wanted so much. And so, like I said, sometimes your childhood experiences will inform who you become as an adult. It's tricky because you never know. You just don't know. You don't know if you're going to be a huge success, but maybe if you work in it and you believe in yourself, you truly believe in yourself, you truly believe in the goal that you want to obtain, and it feels right in your heart, then you go after it. You spend that time, that energy that you're given, and you do it. You do it without looking back, without saying, well, because of this or because of that or because of this excuse or because of this fear that I have. Don't let those things be the things that destroy what could have been. Don't let those things be the things that make you look back and go, "Oh, I regret." Don't ever place yourself in a position where you have to later on in life feel bad that you didn't do what you wanted to do in life. you're gonna it's gonna make you feel bad. What doesn't make you feel bad is being clear about the goals you want, the thing you want out of life, the things you want to accomplish. Write it down, put it on your wall, make it clear as day what it is you want, and you go after it without hesitation, without the excuses, without the fear, putting up those psychological walls that it's basically you just stopping you. You can totally subtract that by thinking differently, and now you have less obstacles. It's less psychological. It's a version of you that doesn't exist, that's going to hold you down. Now you have it clear. You have a clear path, and the only obstacles that you're going to encounter is not you anymore. It's just the external obstacles, no longer the internal. Once you clear that up, that's one less thing. That's less weight. That's less chances of you stopping yourself. And it's just what it means now is that all you have to do is get over those external problems. Those problems that are going to come, the walls that are going to hit you, the metaphorical walls are going to come and hit you. They're going to try to stop you. There's going to be road bumps. There's going to be problems. You have to be a major problem solver. You have to be the best at solving your problems to get through what it is you need to get through in life, to get to where you want to be and where you see yourself. And keep that vision clear. Keep the vision of where you see yourself, how you see yourself in 5 years, in 1 year, in half a year, whatever it is, however you see it. Keep that vision clear, keep it focused, keep it in focus. Don't ever lose that vision, because as soon as you lose focus on how you see yourself in a year, you start to derail. You lose the focus. You get distracted. You get pulled this direction. You get pulled that direction. Next thing you know, you're too busy with so many things that have nothing to do with where you want to be and the goals you want to hit in life. Next thing you know, you're juggling so many things that you never intended to actually juggle. Someone else put it there for you, and because you were unaware of it, now you're stuck with these things for a while until you can clear it. Now you have to spend your energy, your time clearing these things that you never intended to juggle in the first place, that somebody else put there for you. That time could have been spent already working on your goal. That would have been spent getting to where you want to be. And now you can't do that because of what you're juggling. So that's what can happen when you're not clear about where you want to be and how you see yourself. And you're not focused. You allow your focus to go somewhere else. It's going to take longer to get where you want to be. That's how it goes. And some things are not your fault. Some distractions are kind of a necessity. What's up? We got Hamzash Haheed back in the house. How you doing? I'm actually going to end this here in a minute. I'm going to end this little chit chat, little convo, little hangout, Christmas Eve hangout. I'm going to end it here in a minute, but I do want to wish everybody a very, very happy Christmas. Like I said, I hope you get what you want out of life. I hope you get some fantastic presents. I hope you have people that love you, that think about you enough to actually buy you a gift. That's nice. And sometimes, if we're a Grinch, if we're ugly, if we're just not a good person to be around, then we're not going to get the gifts. There's a bit of a, you get what you receive. I mean, you get back what you put out. So if you're the kind of person that's loving, and you're putting out love, and you make a very clear decision, that you thought about, it's conscious, that you're putting out love out there to the world, then you're going to get it back. It's a simple equation. It's the simplest equation out there in the world. Simple as 1 + 1 = 2. One is you put out there, the plus is the what's out there, and then that one comes back to you. 1 + 1 = 2. Or you could just say, you put out negative, you get negative back. You put positive, you get positive back. And sometimes, you put positive and you will get attacked by negativity. Oh, that's happened before. That's happened to me. You put out positivity, you will get attacked by negativity. So it doesn't. It's not always like you put positive and you get positive back. And sometimes you put out negativity, and there's going to be positive people who want to put positivity towards you because they see it. It's all about breaking cycles. About even sometimes it can be anger. Something happens and we want revenge. You know. Oh, that's a really good point. Hamza says, "Love plus unity plus respect equals peace." That's a shirt. I'm gonna write that down. That's a T-shirt right there. I'm gonna write that one down. Love plus unity plus respect equals peace. Love it. Love it. I've been writing down shirt ideas because maybe when I get monetized, right, I make the next benchmark on YouTube, whatever it is. I know that I can do super chats, and I know I can sell products, and I want to sell cool products like that, like a shirt or a mug that's got things like that, inspired by people who comment, like Hamza, Krishna, some other people that comment, and I will give you credit for it too. I'll be like, well, this is where I got this idea. It was this guy who made these comments, and that's what makes my channel be unique in that anything that I sell are quotes from the people that have commented. Where else do you see that in YouTube? No one else does that. I'm going to be the only one that does that. So that's kind of my thank you for spending time with me, hanging out with me, listening to me. That's my way of giving back respect to you all because I do respect all of you. You guys are spending your time with me. That's really cool. I appreciate that. I'm just gibber jabbing and professional jibber jabber. Not really, but getting there. And so I hope you learned something tonight, from whatever I was saying. We all can learn something from anyone on this planet if we're willing. You know, you just never know where you're going to learn something new. But that's one thing I want to do this series. Like I want to teach art. My next year, my plan is to do these beginner classes in drawing, intermediate, and expert level. So that's gonna be fun to create these courses because there's four ways to approach YouTube. Right, you can be a commentary person who just comments on news and events or whatever. Or food or whatever. You can be a teacher on YouTube. You can actually teach something. You can be what's known as a hero, which is you're on a journey, which is in a lot of senses. This is basically what the channel's been dedicated. It's been kind of my journey from going from somebody who was like pretty depressed to somebody who is like energetic, positive, and getting things done. So that's why I'm writing my next book is about that. I already have it broken down to 7 parts. I may even use this live. Some of the stuff talked about is really good stuff. I might include that, but essentially, the book will be the stuff that's in the book is going to be transcribed from my live for some of my best live chats that I've had and whatnot. And I've already picked out 7. This could be one of them because I was on a roll there for a second. But essentially, yeah, my journey was going from somebody who lost his job, his girlfriend left him. I was in the dumps. People gained up on me. I mean, I lost it all, and so I had to climb up out of that hole, and I had to learn so many things to get out of that hole. Hamza says you can also be intellectual advisor on YouTube. Very interesting. That's very true. That's something that you can add on to the list that I didn't think about. That this other expert was talking about the 4 things that you can be on YouTube, but that's a really good one. Intellectual advisor. Wow. Yeah, or just yeah, even emotional advisor. There's so many people out there that are stressing over things and could use somebody to talk to. And that's honestly how I met Krishna. We're just talking back and forth, and I met some other people that were in the dumps, and I was talking to them, and I helped them out. But yeah, the next book is upside from going from downside to upside. That's the title is something like that. So next big goal, I'm hoping. I haven't had a job in 3 years, but I've been doing a lot of freelance stuff, and every now and then I get a blessing and I get lucky, and I get support. But I'm hoping that my next book will spin into doing motivational speaking. I've done that one time by accident. I was part of a educational thing, and I got roped into speaking in front of large people, and people loved what I had to say. So I've always thought about that moment and like how natural it was for me to do that and how people loved it. And I was like, maybe I have something there. This was like over a decade ago. This was when I was in college. This was in like 2016, 2017. We took a trip to Dallas. It was a big convention. It was a teachers convention, and students who were part of this special thing. It was an entrepreneur thing I was part of, and so we got to go on a trip for free, basically. And so we went to this teachers convention, and like I said, I was roped in into talking about different perspectives, and I talked about Leonardo da Vinci, how he approached life, how he had different perspectives when it came to looking at objects, and he thought about how objects can be best represented dramatically or with humor or whatever, and or just logically, and you can adapt that to life. You can look at different problems in life with different perspectives, and you can come to different conclusions, and solve solve whatever problem by having different perspectives on it, right? But yeah, so the book's going to be a lot about that. And like I said, it'd be really cool if I can spin it into a real, like, freelance job where I can actually be a motivational speaker. He says, Hamza says, hey, you can write on how to live in moments. So, um, yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert on YouTube. I've gotten pretty lucky, you know. Like I got my goal for 1,000 subscribers. I have 740,000 views. So my goal for next year is to hit 1 million views. Um, and I guess part of my next goal is to figure out how to get monetized. And a lot of that is watch time hours that are actually watched, and then you need to reach a total of 4,000 watch time hours, which is a lot when it comes down to it. You have to be doing something correctly. You got to be teaching something, putting out value out there in the world, or some kind of entertainment to do that, right? We're talking 4,000 hours. That is a big chunk of time. And what do they say? It takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in anything. So you imagine people watching collectively 4,000 hours of your content. That's a lot to wrap your head around. So I've been thinking about what kind of series I can make, for next year. I can make a series because that's going to be the thing for 2006, is building a series where people can tune in and, watch the next episode, or, keep people on that cliffhanger. A lot of people started doing it this year, and they've gained a lot of success. So that's the next tactic for 2026, is build a series. But I have no idea what I'm going to do. I could maybe just read books. I'm really good. I love reading books. I can read books. Maybe my whole series is just reading books. Maybe, but it has to be more than just reading books. That's what I mean. I have to really sit down and think about what kind of series I'm going to do. It could be visiting stores. Walking around Oklahoma. It could be a series of just investigating Oklahoma. Going to different towns, small towns, visiting small towns. Maybe it's a series on visiting small towns and small businesses in small towns. That could be interesting. So I'm gonna write that down because it's not a bad idea. Visiting small towns, interviewing small town people. It's not a bad idea. It's kind of it's kitschy. It's like people who live in Europe are gonna be interested in watching this, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it here. If that's okay. I'm gonna end it right here, live, because at some point I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to add on to what I just said. But look forward. I look forward to doing the pencil drawing classes that are going to be free. That's what I do in life. I'm a painter. I'm a drawer. I'm an artist. I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker. I do all kinds, everything in arts. That's me. I'm the arts guy. But yeah, specifically, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to release classes. They're probably going to be an hour long each, but it's going to be so that could probably help the watch time hours. But yeah, courses on beginners classes in drawing and then intermediate classes, then expert classes, which will be a lot of fun for me. So we'll see. We'll see how I do. We'll see how it does. I don't know. Maybe I'll reach 1 million views with my art classes. Um, but I have 2 movie reviews coming up this year. I'm wrapping up the year with movie reviews. The last I've done 12 so far, and I have a playlist dedicated to those movies. And I'm gonna put them in order of my, like, number one being my favorite movie of the year, and then obviously go down to 14. There's gonna be 14 movies total that I'm doing. So this Friday, I'm doing a movie called Caught Stealing. All these movies can be found on Netflix. But yeah, I'm gonna do a movie. My next movie review and plot outline is on a movie called Caught Stealing, which is a pretty fun, simple crime drama kind of movie with a little bit of like a dark comedy. And then the last movie I'm gonna do, which is a spectacular movie to do, it's called The Great Flood, and I believe it's actually number one on Netflix right now. It's a crazy movie. The fact that it's about a flood, but it's actually a sci-fi movie, it's 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 cool. It's very cool what they did. It's a cool little storyline. It's awesome. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. So if you have a chance, watch it. It's on. If you got Netflix, give it a look see loo. It's called The Great Flood. It's a foreign film, probably Chinese made, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, fantastic movie. Highly recommended. But anyways, yeah. So at some point, I'm going. Oh, you saw that movie? Yeah, I saw it too recently. I really enjoyed it. I had to watch it again because I didn't quite understand it the first time. I was like, what just happened? Like, what is this? And then like the second time, it made more sense. Then the third time I watched it, it was like clear as day. But it's got a really interesting sci-fi element to it. That's very close to a movie idea I had that I plan on writing. Very similar, but it's not about a flood, and it's about robots. That I had this like idea. But anyways, um, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna wrap the year with those 2 movie reviews, and then I'm gonna list the order of what I think is the best movie. So top movies, like the 14 movies I watched, I'm gonna put them in order. Number one being the best movie, number two being the second best, so on and so on and so on. The 14th being my least favorite out of the whole selection. Um, but anyways, yeah, it's been a long year. That's it already. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And that's it. It's been a long year for me. I've been very busy steadily doing the YouTube stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here in a second. But let me just say one more thing. It's been a long year. I devoted it to a lot of goals outside of YouTube. But one of the primary goals was hitting 1,000 subs, and I had to work my butt off and figure out, be creative. And I'm gonna be returning to the stuff I used to do because it was more summertime. And so gardening, I'm going to return gardening. I'm going to do gardening, live gardening things next year, doing 90s sitcom recaps. I did all the Seinfeld episodes. I did little episode highlights and little full clips from an episode. I did about 106 little recaps of Seinfeld. My plan is to do those those sitcom 90s sitcom recaps, but my focus will be Everybody Loves Raymond, which is another favorite show of mine, and it's actually a longer show than Seinfeld, a much longer show. It's the double the episodes. Seinfeld has 106 episodes, and Everybody Loves Raymond is like it's like over 200. So that's going to keep me busy creating those little clips, recap clips of Everybody Loves Raymond. Again, I grew up in that in that period of time where I watched the thing to watch on TV was Seinfeld or Everybody Loves Raymond or what was that other one called King of Queens or whatever. So Friends, even that show Friends, Full House, but I don't think that's available on Netflix. family matters, things like that. Anyways, I'm excited for next year. We're getting close. I'm thinking about next year. I'm excited about Christmas. Let's think about what's at hand here. And what's at hand here is Christmas. I'm excited. Lots of great things happening already. You can call them Christmas miracles. I got to see some family members that I haven't seen in a long time. It made me very sad, even though I kept my composure about it. And that was like a bit of a Christmas miracle. So I'm pretty glad about that. Hamza says, I have a book. What book do you have, good sir? What book do you have? You have a book picked out for next year? Is that what you're saying? There is a book I want to read next year as well. The Seven Sleepers. Interesting. That sounds interesting. I'm going to write that down. The Seven Sleepers. What is that about? Is that fiction or nonfiction? That sounds crazy. Is it psychological? It just sounds crazy. What can you tell me in a short commentary? What's your short commentary on the Seven Sleepers? Because I may history book. Ooh, even better. Ooh. I may have to look it up and see what it's about. I love reading books. I read 22 books this year live, every page. Ancient Greek. Okay, interesting. Is it you say history, but is it philosophical by chance? Um, yeah, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Who knows? Maybe it'll be one of the books I read next year because that's what I did. I read books this year live, page by page, chapter by chapter. I just wrapped up a book called the Science of Going Viral or the Art of Going Viral or something like that. Really good book, eye opening, very interesting. Um, interesting. Interesting. Romans. Ancient Greek book. It's from Romans. All right, I'll look it up. I'll look it up and see. Maybe who knows? Maybe it'll be one of the books I read out loud next year. People say though I have a pretty good voice and pace, and people suggest all the time that I should do audiobooks. And who knows? Maybe that'll be one of my goals for next year. Is but it's hard because it's like you have to have your pronunciation has to be perfect, the pacing has to be perfect, and it's not always that easy. I mean, you make a mistake, you have to go back and redo it. The quality of recording has to be really good. And I'm not there yet with all that kind of stuff. So it's something that I'm keeping in mind for a possibility for a side gig, doing those audiobooks. But I'll tell you what, if I do audiobooks, I may start with my books first and then branch off from there. Um, but anyways, yeah, thanks for the book recommendation and all that. It was fun chatting with you, Hamza. I call you Hamza for short. It's not an insult or anything, by the way. But yeah, your full name on YouTube is Hamza Shahida. Sorry, 6767. So yeah, call you Hamza for short, if you don't mind. Um, I love that quote. Love plus unity plus respect equals peace. That's a really awesome, pretty much golden rule to live by. It's a great, yeah. That's gonna be like one of the first things. Hams, right on, Hams. That's gonna be probably if I'm able to sell shirts on here, I get to that point. That's the first shit I'm gonna do, and I'll always tell people it was because of Hams. It'll say love plus unity plus respect equals peace. I dig that. I dig that a lot. That's awesome. That's a great message. Great mathematical equation. Great philosophy in life. Just overall great. A great rule to live by. All right, folks. Everybody have a great evening or afternoon wherever you are or morning, and enjoy. If you do Christmas, enjoy your Christmas. Either way, enjoy your family. If not, and you have a good night. Everybody have a good night. Hams, you have a good night. And who knows? I'll be seeing you soon. Okay, everybody. I got to figure some stuff out. The movie reviews are coming up, but I have to start figuring out next year for sure. And I kind of did a lot of that. So, all right, I'm out of here. Bye bye, my friends. It was good chatting. For those who don't know, my name is Lasso. This is Lasso's Passions. Welcome to my channel. Broadcasting live from Tulsa, Oklahoma, from my trailer. I'll be seeing you on the next one. It was a pleasure speaking to you all.